we start off with like how like some people start new podcasts? Like, all right, let's do this. Let's go. Like, have that part included.
You want to?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, let's get started. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Let's go.
Welcome to the first episode of the Nascar Stop Motion Podcast. I'm Milk, as you know, this is on my channel, and I'm joined by...
Yeti Cup Series.
Yes. So today we're just going to be giving you a little insight to NASCAR Stop Motion and giving you a lot of information on it. And first of all, we're going to answer your question, what is NASCAR Stop Motion? I'm sure if you're watching this, you at least have a brief idea of what it is. But basically, stop motion is where you take pictures of stuff moving.
Yep, and with NASCAR stop motions, we kind of have our own community of stop motion. Now, you may see Lego stop motions when you look up stop motion animations. You see a lot of clay stop motion, or Lego stop motions, which, keep in mind, is also very creative. There's some very good creators on there, and I think we might look into having some of those creators invited onto the channel to talk about like what's the differences between it. But with like NASCAR stop motions, there's so much you can do. Like you can involve like the strategy of taking pit stops. You can involve like some people love to do day to night switches. I've seen a couple of those before. Awesome. And like there's some creators that have been on here for so long, for say Mistcraft, or
ACS.
Yeah, Affleck Cup Series legend, and Dex Cup Series, which is Double E Cup Series. Eric Estep, now owner of the Out of the Groove podcast.
Yes.
And like those are people that everyone in our community has looked up to, and now you and me are kind of being role models as well because we've started to grow. You and me both started small. You've really taken a growth spurt in this last couple months, I'd say. I've
been working really, really hard trying to get this burst, and I'm happy that it's coming now. Perfect timing for myself needing this.
Yeah, for me, I've had my channel this September. It'll be 4 years.
Wow.
3 or 4 years. So, and I'm only at like 260 subscribers. So if you could please subscribe, that would Milk, if you could share your subscribers, that would be great.
Yeah. I can do that.
But like, even like the really small creators that are out there are like, we explore them. Like I remember exploring MLCS when he only had 30 subscribers. I was one of his first 50 subscribers.
Yeah, I saw him when he was really small. I started watching his races, and I was like, oh, there's another stop motion series. And then I started watching, and I saw, oh my gosh, he's really big now.
I saw him when he was first doing his tests.
Oh, really?
And I was like, this creator is going to be something to watch out for in the community, and now he's part of the head board of NASMAR.
Yeah.
We're hoping to have sponsor this podcast in the future, and we'll get into what NASMAR is later.
Yeah, we can do that later.
We can definitely do that, but NASCAR stop motion varies. There's FPS, which is frames per second. That is how many pictures are traveling by per second. A lot of creators love to use 10 frames per second.
10 frames is definitely a popular choice.
It's a very popular choice. And now some people leave it really slow. And I think a beginner mistake is leaving that FPS super slow.
Yeah.
They understand the movement of the cars and to not move them very much, which is amazing. And it's just like, okay, you got the idea of moving the cars, now just speed it up.
Yeah.
And it turns out amazing, and now these people that we help out are turning into very popular people in the community. And that's kind of our goal here on this podcast, I'd say, is to bring in the smaller creators as they start to grow and they start to learn. And we kind of talk about like okay, what have we done with this? What have we done with that? And kind of what's our experience in the community? Now, my experience in the community, I started filming stop motion, NASCAR stop motion, back in August of 2021.
Okay.
And I started posting it on YouTube, I believe, December of that year.
Okay.
That would, like, I understood the movement of the cars. I understood not to move them that much. But because I had seen Mistcraft and Double E Cup Series, and I was like, whoa, I want to be just like those guys.
Yeah.
And, I mean, now I've had a NASMAR race before, and, I mean, now I can't do stop motion as much. I'm so busy. I'm a junior in high school. So,
Yeah.
time is a crucial thing for me. I might try and get some filming done tonight, though.
Yeah, but then that could also bring us to how much time these things take. Like, a lot of people try to jump into it, and they don't realize how much time it takes, and then the project never really happens.
Yeah, that is one major thing. I know the longest I have spent on one race is my Season 2 championship race. That took me over a year to work on, because I had just, like, I hadn't done much with it. I kind of lost interest for a little bit, and then I was like, screw it, I'm gonna get this thing done.
Yeah.
And I got it done, and I got it out, and it blew up. It got like 100 views within an hour of it being, which felt really cool.
Yeah.
The shortest amount of time it's taken me to film a race, however, is not even a day. Not even half a day.
I've done that too.
I filmed, and it turned out actually good too. Like, I had good amounts of green flag racing. I don't know if you've seen my old Indianapolis race when I had the old Jenga block tracks.
Oh.
Now that's another thing we got to get into is tracks. We got to have an episode for that.
Yes, we do.
Because there are some amazing track creators out here, and then they kind of, no offense, but they kind of choke when it comes to the stop motion. It's just like,
that's very true.
It's like, the waste of potential. Like, not a waste, but, like, you know what I mean. Like, it's just like, you put so much, like, hype into it. And it's like, wow, like, this is going to be absolutely amazing. And that's why I love taking time with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have?
My mind just kind of blinked for a second here.
Yeah, my mind kind of blanked too. But honestly, I mean, like, let's get into what we'll be doing on this podcast.
Yeah, we can move into that. So what we'll be doing is talking about NASCAR stop motion and bringing people in that we like and that also do stop motion. Mostly NASCAR stop motion, but like we said earlier, we might bring in some of those other stop motion creators, and we'll just get some insight onto stop motion. Hopefully grow the communities of stop motion more.
Yeah, I think that's our goal, is maybe eventually just be a stop motion specific channel and have like different branches, like have different, like, I guess you could call it sequels, where we do like a series of like episodes or like a season kind of. So it's like its own show, where we do a season of Lego stop motions, a season in NASCAR stop motion, clay stop motion, so on and so forth. There's so much to do, and it's just like, wow. I mean, even drawing stop motions.
Yeah, that's
like, drawings are amazing.
Topic.
Those are so fun to watch, and just there's so many creators that need help with growth. And I believe that we can do that on this podcast. I mean, Milk has some growth. We kind of discussed, like, hey, I kind of got a low amount of subs. Like, why not start off kind of already growing one person on the podcast and growing even more within ourselves? So.
And that's been a goal of my own these past couple days, as I've been thinking about what I can do to grow my channel. And I was just thinking about if I could collab with some other creators, you know, and bring them on, grow them, grow me, do all that cool stuff. Yeah.
And that's what we want to do for others. We've had our time growing. I think I've had my time growing. I've kind of been sitting at this amount of subscribers for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And so it's just like now it's kind of time to focus on others. I haven't been filming as much. I haven't filmed in a solid like 2 months, I believe. It's been a very, very long time.
Yeah.
But I think that it's going to be very fun. I think I'm going to get back into filming again soon.
Yeah.
And just have some fun with it. Maybe I'll film later tonight. But
I think there's one other thing we could bring up here is like the cost of stop motion. Like I know
yes,
you can have a phone, the app itself is free, but then all the die cast, the materials to build the track, all that stuff.
I've made, my River Valley track, which I'll get a picture of and we'll put it up on screen. And I made this track in 4 days. Within this time span of 4 days, I took 1 day to draw it. I used my trash can to draw the inside of the turns, and then I kind of used my ruler to draw some outside points of where the outside part of the track would be, and it turned out quite amazing. It's a cool fantasy track. It's probably my favorite track I've made, other than my Vegas track, which we'll show another picture of.
Yeah.
That was a really fun track to make as well. I think I made that in like 2 days, I believe.
I have a very surprising fact I have to say is that my Kansas track, which I'll also put a picture of, future me that's editing this, put a picture of my Kansas and the other 2 tracks we're talking about. My Kansas took me a day to paint and outline. It took me like 3 hours actually.
Wow.
And then I grinded so hard that whole night. I used like a fan to the paint drew in like dried in like 5 minutes. How crazy. Like I did not expect the paint to dry that fast, and it helped me out.
Okay. Yeah. And I think one cool variety that we see in stop motion, however, when it comes to cost, is we see some people doing stop motion with older die casts.
Oh yeah.
We've even seen some stop motions in the past where people use 124s, and that is absolutely wild. And I've thought about putting in the time to make a track that would fit a 124 scale. Like make a small little track, nothing crazy. Probably just a bigger scaled up version of this River Valley track. Just make something basic. But and just try it out and see how it turns out. I mean, it might not work out so well, but you know.
Yeah, I've had thoughts of just going all out on the coolest thing in the world, going out to my like driveway and getting like tons of sheets of cardboard and making a giant 124 scale Daytona. Like it would be huge.
That would be really
it would be giant.
I mean, yeah, and the price of things also, like, you gotta have a tripod, of course. That is one crucial need. Stop motion creators, young stop motion creators watching or listening to this podcast, you need a tripod. Tripod. Please have that. One other crucial thing, and I saw this in the, I don't know, are you in the AAPCS server?
No, I'm not. I didn't know he had one.
Yeah, he does.
That's cool.
But I saw someone in there, and the stop motion was great. Has the basic ideas of it, has basic understanding. Just the one idea I gave to him was, it kind of seemed like he didn't have a tripod, but it also did.
Yeah.
Because his camera turning was a little weird.
Yeah.
I guess you could say. And then his lighting was weird.
Yeah.
That's one thing you need. You need consistent lighting, always. I always try and stay out of the way of like the lighting for my pictures. I always, like, if I see my shadow in one of my pictures, I'll go back and delete it and make sure I'm not in the way, because I want consistent lighting. Now, one thing I'll be doing with this River Valley Speedway race, with these races, because it's a heat race kind of thing, build up to the main. Kind of like the All-Star thing, because it's a small track. So my goal is to have, like, have it kind of digress into nighttime.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm
That'd
going
be
to be
really cool.
trying. That'll be new. I tried it kind of with my Vegas race for Nasmar, but you couldn't really tell because my light is super bright. It is very bright. And these room lights can't tell a difference if they are on or off unless you see the background.
Oh, okay.
But what other tips do you have for young creators out there?
As a former creator myself, I started at 10 FPS. It worked pretty well. I like my 10 FPS races. But something I've noticed is a lot of people use that 10 FPS, and it just seems like the cars are moving too slow. Like if here's actual race, the cars would be moving. It seems like they're moving way too slow for like an actual race. So then I'd say move them even less and turn the FPS up to like 12. Now I use 12. The past few races of mine I've used 12, and it feels more realistic to me personally.
With Las Vegas, with the NASMAR race, I used 11 FPS. That was golden. And one thing I did, and one thing that, we'll definitely have some cool stop motion tutorials on how to learn how to use stuff on here.
Yeah.
Sure, we got to do that. That would make us blow up like crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, how much we move the cars in the corners.
Yeah.
One thing I'm doing that's kind of key, I'm not doing it for these heat races because I want to take more time, because it like nearly doubles the pictures per lap at this track. And because the difference is 40 pictures. 40 pictures just for one lap, and it's wide. Yeah. And for my Las Vegas race, I believe one lap was like 130 pictures. But that is because I slowed down the cars in the corners. I moved them less. And then I sped them up when they came out of the corner.
That's something I need to do. That's so cool when you see it work. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that definitely helped with something I needed to work on, and that was spreading out the pack. So lost train of thought there.
I also need to work on spreading out the pack. That's something I've been getting better at, but
I tried that with the original heat races. There's some OG heat races that I'll be uploading. There's only one. There's only one heat race that is done, ready to go. And I'll upload that at some point, just as like an unfinished product. But it really, you could tell like they were speeding up out of the corners, and it really kind of like allowed for some cool things to happen. Like this track that I have, in real life, it would be 1/4 of a mile long. So it'd be very, very tight. Very, very small.
Yeah.
It's a very small track, and I feel like the scale of that is really represented with the amount of cars on track. And it's going to be really fun. I think that like for one of my old heat races, on the first lap, they ended up going 3 wide out of turn 2. And then those 3 cars ended up spinning out and wrecking because it's so close and you're just moving like so specifically, because cars in real life, they fade up track.
Yeah.
So stuff will happen.
Yeah, I've done that too. At my season 2 race 6 at Bristol, I had them go 4 wide, and it ended up causing a spin because they were 4 wide at Bristol. I don't think you could maintain that. Yeah.
And one other thing that really is crucial to stop motions that I'm going to give advice for is your energy that you're bringing in commentary. You need commentary. Energy that you're bringing. You gotta like Mistcraft has said in the past, you gotta bring that energy. Like if you have a table near you when you're recording, slam the table like you're going crazy. What's that Logano run? He said he slammed the table and he was going crazy, going wild, and it's just like you gotta have that energy, and because it brings like the viewer there. it's like
Yeah.
watching it on TV. It's like it's a real race, and that's what these things can turn into. And there's some cool creators that have turned their, like Gavin Beers. He is.
Yeah.
Gosh, that Pocono track is mwah.
That track
Mamma
is
mia.
the greatest track I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I tell you, what he did with that, he did what, 30, 40 laps at that track for Nasmar?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's like 1,000 pictures for one lap, and it was like, wow.
Yeah.
And his energy, he had so many different creators on there with that, and it was a super cool race to watch. But
yeah, when you had in NASMAR last year, though, I would say the best stretch of races was Pocono through like Michigan or the Glen, because that's when it got spiced up. That's what brought a lot of people in, because like the tracks were beautiful, the creators. That's when I think like MLCS started, or like not started, but he like that's when his blowing up took off.
yeah, and then I kind of kicked off, like started the end of the playoffs.
Vegas
with
was really good.
With some crazy wrecks happening involving crucial playoff drivers. And
I saw Vegas. That was a really good race. I don't know if enough people have told you that. I love that race. That race is amazing.
Thank you very much. And then ACS right after that with Homestead with another crazy wild of
I forgot about
events. Like Kyle Busch got involved in a wreck, but he was in the he moved into the championship.
Yeah.
We will put the link to all the videos that we talk about. So we got to put in that season 5 Talladega Mistcraft race.
Yeah, we gotta put that in.
Gavin Beer's Pocono stuff, MLCS's channel.
Yeah.
Both our channels, of course.
Yeah.
Double E Cup Series, ACS, APCS.
Hey Eric, if you're watching this, come join us.
Eric, we need you.
Yeah, we need you.
This
Eric.
is our call sign to you. Come on,
This is our
buddy.
call.
Go.
I'm gonna at him in the description, so he gets a notification.
Good. That's good. Very good. But like you said, when it comes to that, we want to have fun on this podcast. We want to really uplift those smaller creators. We want to help them. We want to help them grow and become great creators. And because what we've been doing, what we've started is we've been inspiring people to try something new.
Yeah.
I moved from Lego stop motion to NASCAR stop motion. I will feature one of my old Lego stop motion set. Actually, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I had the gist of stop motion down with that. It was really cool.
I remember my first NASCAR stop motion. It was not on YouTube. I never did YouTube because I was in 3rd grade. I didn't really know what I was just gripping the grasp of what the internet was. So in 3rd grade, I had this project where I was talking about NASCAR because I was already a NASCAR fan in 3rd grade. So I did. It was on like Richard Petty because that's like the only guy I knew. And then I made a NASCAR stop motion for it. It was 22 seconds, and the cars moved about 3 feet per picture. And I think it was the most atrocious video I've ever made in my life.
Yeah, I've had some bad stop motions before too, and I think one funny thing we've got to mention is like the people that make like the cool like the funny moment things.
Oh yeah,
like
those are...
Hendrick Fan 24/7.
Yeah.
We got to shout him out. He's a legend in this community. He helped start NASMAR.
Really? Oh yeah, I saw him in a couple
I
of
believe
videos.
he did the first race.
Yeah.
And it was like, and seeing his videos, it's just so funny with the cool voice impressions and everything. It's just like, wow. But like, that's what we want in this community. It's like, you gotta have fun, and there's different ways to have fun in different communities. So like we said, we're gonna have different creators from each community in here. And yeah, I think it's gonna be very cool, very fun, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know, is there anything else to say other than like, hey, let's get this thing started, let's go?
I don't think there's anything else we have to say.
I think this is going to be very fun.
Yeah.
But so stay tuned for the future for podcast episodes, and we're gonna try and pump out an episode every week, except for when I have finals.
Yeah, and when my life starts getting busy again, then we'll figure stuff out. But if you made it this far, that clearly means you're interested in this topic. So subscribe to both of us. Because why would you listen to us for 20 minutes? Why would you listen to us for like 20 minutes and not 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
Why would you listen to us for 30 minutes and not subscribe to us?
Exactly. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Definitely give Yeti the support that he needs. He's probably he's better than me in stop motion. He deserves more than I have. But thank you all.
I'd say we're both equal.
Okay. You can say I'll keep my own thoughts. I'd rank myself like 20th in the creators, maybe.
Where would you rank me?
Like 11th, or maybe wait. How many people? Like probably 11th, maybe top 10. Wait, probably around the 11th to 14th. Cause like, I would say Mistcraft is probably number 1. He has graphics. He has decent enough stop motion that he's number 1. Now the reason I say decent enough is because there's people that I see that have way better stop motion than him.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'd say MLCS at the moment. That's my opinion.
You can see that he uses like the smoothness upgrade from like Cap or whatever.
Yeah,
you could see it in like the stuff he's done for NASCAR, and it's like, ugh, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen that.
I'd rank him outside of the top 10, like no disrespect.
Outside the top 10?
I'd say probably 12th though.
Okay. Well, Eric is definitely top 10, even though he doesn't do it anymore, which is why he's not in the top 5. If he kept doing it, he would definitely be top 5.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think that's all we got for this episode.
Yep.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a very fun thing.
Very, very fun. Well, like we've said, we make sure to subscribe to both of us. Subscribe to me too. Come on, man. You need spoilers on Yeti Cup Series, even though I don't upload very much.
Yeah.
Well, still need the subscribers. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. Are we saying?
Yeah.
We're saying goodbye.
We're saying goodbye.
Okay, goodbye, viewers.
Episode 1 is done. All right.
The recording.
Peace out, viewers.
The recording's not done. I'm still recording. We're still talking. We're still.
Oh, we're still here. Bloopers. Bloopers.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next time.